How's it going, MHA? This is Coach Shipstad. This first video will start off our 4 weeks here in the Monument Hockey Online Academy. First topic I'd like to speak about is something that's kind of affecting us all while we're stuck in quarantine, is the effect that this has on our routines. For me, it was really difficult to find a new routine being stuck at home. Your sleep patterns are messed up. Maybe it's not as easy to get good food, whatever it might be. Our whole daily routine has kind of been mixed up. So I'm going to talk a little bit on some of those things that we can do to adjust those routines and find a way to get some normalcy and get a schedule in front of us that we can keep rolling on. So by the time that rink opens back up, we're ready to go, we're eating the right things, we're feeling good, and it's going to be an easy transition back into our old normal. So first thing I want to talk about is sleep. So obviously a lot of us are sitting inside. Maybe you're sitting on the couch a lot more than you used to be. You don't have practice, you don't have all the other stuff, so you're probably not as tired when you lay down and try to go to sleep. Or maybe your normal bedtime is kind of pushed back later and later because you're just not as tired. That's going to be really tough in this. So, one of the things I challenge all of you is to find a good bedtime. Don't be staying up till midnight or later playing video games, watching Netflix, doing all those things. I know it's tough. You can kind of get stuck in those rabbit holes of watching way too many episodes of something. But this is where we've got to kind of be a little more mindful, a little more purposeful in what we're doing. And especially if you want to be an elite athlete, it's something you have to really dedicate yourself to. So finding a good bedtime of, 9, 8, 9, 10, somewhere in that range. And then, first of all, getting off the phone, getting off the blue light, the computers, the tablets, the phones, the video games, all that stuff that just really screws up, your sleep patterns and things like that. So you need to make sure to put the phone down at least 30 minutes before, put all the electronics away 30 minutes before you fall asleep. And then use that time to maybe read a little. You can read a magazine or a book or whatever it might be, or just kind of wind down and meditate, do whatever you need to do. But shut off the electronics at least 30 minutes before you fall asleep, and it's going to help put you to sleep a lot quicker. On the other side of that is our wake up times. Right? So making sure you went to bed at a good time, you slept a good 8 to 10 hours. It's really crucial for athletes in their teenage years. You really need to be smart about your sleep. Your body is doing so much recovery and cleansing and all sorts of growing, things like that. You can't skimp out on sleep. You guys need a lot of sleep. So make sure you're getting at least that 8 hours, right? And then when you wake up the next morning, we're not waking up at noon, we're not waking up at 1 or 2 in the afternoon. Set a good wake up time and be consistent with it, right? It gets back to the routine thing. Don't just wake up all different times during the week. Usually when you're at MHA, you wake up the same time every day, you're on the ice the same time, you go in the bus the same time, you go to school the same time. All that stuff is similar, and now those routines are all messed up, right? So it's really hard to find that normalcy again in that routine. So set a consistent wake up. Maybe it's 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7, 8, somewhere in that range, right? And you wake up, you got the full night's sleep, you get up, and then be consistent with what you do. Maybe you eat right when you get up. Maybe you like to do a warm-up or a yoga or something in the morning and then eat. Then you do your workout, and then you shoot pucks. Or maybe you like to shoot pucks and then wait till after lunch to go do your workout. Whatever it might be, it's gonna be different for everybody. Right, so the best thing to do is use this next week to test out a few different things, right? Find that new routine that you're gonna get into. Figure out what works for your body, what makes you feel energized, or maybe you wake up really early and you're just not a morning person, you say, look, I need to sleep till 8 a.m. Great, okay? Readjust your bedtime, figure that out, wake up at 8 a.m., but be ready to go when you get up at 8. Okay, next piece we got to talk about is nutrition. Again, the easiest thing to do during this time is to sit on the couch, binge eat, watch TV, do those things, right? Especially, again, you're not burning as many calories as you were in our normal routine with practices, with MHA, with school, with all that stuff. So you're not using the same amount of energy, you're not burning the same amount of calories. You got to be really smart about what you're eating and what you're putting in your body in this time. So as a player, make sure you're talking to mom and dad and letting them know that you do need some healthier options around the house. One of the benefits is we can still go to the grocery store right now. That's still part of essential travel and things we have to do every day. So make sure you're doing that. Maybe you go to the grocery store with your parents the next time they go and pick out those healthier options. Right? So to sum all this up, during this time, it's really easy to fall into the bad habits, to sit on the couch all day, to watch Netflix, to play video games all day, to go to bed super late, to sleep in super late in the day, right? All those things are extremely easy. It's gonna be hard to wake up early. It's gonna be hard to force yourself to go to bed at a good time. It's hard to pick the healthier tasting food over the easy, quick snack, right? But that's the stuff that's gonna help an athlete excel during this time we have stuck at home. The kids that are doing all the easy things aren't getting better. But the players that choose to do the hard things, who choose to go through the adversity and be tough and give themselves a schedule and force themselves to eat good food, and all those things might seem tough in the first couple of weeks, but then by the last few weeks, it's easy. And you're in that routine, you're in good habits of eating right and sleeping right and doing those things, and you're gonna find that by the time we get back on the ice, you wouldn't have missed a step at all. And it's just so seamless transition, going from quarantine to now getting back on the ice, right? So in this first week or so, please touch base with me, reach out to me, any of the other coaches, and let's talk about the things you need to do. If you're having trouble with the nutrition side, reach out. We can give you some meal plans and some things to work on. If you're having trouble with the sleep side, same thing, reach out. Let's figure out what some of those issues might be. And again, like I said, it's gonna look different for everybody. So figure out what works best for you and try a few different things. Maybe this week you tried 2 or 3 different routines, and then push it into next week. Maybe by next week, you know exactly what you're doing and you're gonna be moving just fine. And we repeat that for the 3rd week, the 4th week, the 5th week, all this time during quarantine, right? So that's our big message this week is routines, right? Figure out a routine and then stick to good sleep and stick to good nutrition. All right, all those things are gonna help us in the end. Look forward to seeing you. We'll send the next video, mental training class video out next week.